Corby King with we're at Mansion Farms in Oklahoma. This is a 3,000 sow unit. This farm opened with a conventional ESF. Having trouble with getting the flow right with the trains, and so somebody mentioned Gestal to us, so we started looking. We started a trial in August, and we put an order in November, and it's been going great. Retrofitting the Gestal into this farm is fairly simple. It's all wireless, so that part was pretty easy. Just a few steps, and you have it talking to your computer. Two people putting this together in about 2 hours, and then about an hour to set up and to hang and set up the units, and to get the electric. You get the sound of the feed hitting the bowl, and that's all it takes for sow. We've filled these pens with sows, and we've only had one sow that was unable to use this machine. They're used to being in a crate. Their crate broke prior to coming into a pen, so they see the crate, and they know that they get fed in there. Looking from the outside of the feeder, a pig looking at the conventional ESF, all they see is a plastic panel. They don't know it's a feeder. When they look at the Gestal, they can clearly tell that it's a crate. Like I said, the last pen we loaded was this last pen. It had 72. I pushed it on the second day. I had 3 to put in the feeder, and the next day I had 1, and I haven't had any since. It took about 4 days to be 100% total. They're all eating, and they're all eating good. Just the human interaction, so they're naturally just kind of scared of you. So getting in the pen anyways, they're kind of just, sometimes they're nervous. These have all been around us a lot, but so just trying to get them in the crates, get them to go in is the toughest parts with the gilts. They just being a little timid, but other than that, really the trade-off for the pushing the 15 every week is pretty good compared to 2 weeks in the training barn, and then come out here and have similar results with 2 weeks worth of training. They all pick it up fairly decent. This one right here, she was non-trained, and she's calmed down and went into the feeder on her own. You got to be a little more patient with the gilts, a little more relaxed, because they're so tense. What I like about the Gestal versus the ESF is the multiple feeding stations, lower stress. Also, if you have a feeder that goes down, you got 4 feeders still feeding in the pen. As far as the pigs go, that's what I really like. I like it's low stress. They've got plenty of places to eat. As far as maintenance side, it's so simple. There's 2 pivot points on one machine. There's not much to go wrong. The feeders are wireless. If your computer crashes, they will feed your animals. They're super easy to work on. I've had to work on one, and I don't like to do it in the barn, so 4 screws, and I'll take it into our workstation and so I don't drop anything, and work on it. So that part of it's really nice. The stainless on the floor. It's heavy built. It goes together really easy. I mean, it's a maintenance man's dream for something this simple. When you've got better things to be doing than fixing bushings and air cylinders and sensors. Training in a gilts and Gestal versus training in gilts in a conventional ESF is a big selling point, because what you're doing in the training pen for 2 weeks, and then to come out here and have the same results as Gestal does with no training is amazing. Another good thing about multiple feed stations is the time your animals have to eat. It's so much quicker. 9:30 this morning, out of almost 1,000 animals, I had 30, less than 30, that needed to go in and eat. And compared to a conventional ESF with a single feed trough, that feeding would be well into the evening. We're averaging about 5 a day to push, mostly in the gilts. So having to train, having to find the right person to train that would want to sit over there for hours every day, making sure your animals eat. You have to find a special person, and those people are hard to find. It's not a fun task, training. When we first opened this barn, we had to train before we even started breeding. I would have loved to have Gestal on when we opened this farm. We could have eventually started doing our heat checking and our sizing of gilts to what we wanted to breed, instead of breeding what we had to breed because they were trained. We couldn't flow our farm with the space we had to train gilts. So when we switched to Gestal, and also in our sow pens, they didn't do as well with a higher stocking density to the one feeder conventional ESFs. So we had to take our size of our pens down. With the Gestal, we could actually get the full potential of our pen sizes. We've upped our inventory in our pen section, and we can keep our inventory in our crated side of the barn up because we don't have to train. So our inventory's climbing, and it's very good for this farm because we haven't reached inventory since we opened this farm.